What if I told you the strongest people in the world don't win by fighting? What if their secret isn't more effort, but something softer, something almost invisible? From the outside, mentally strong people seem calm, focused, in control. But on the inside, they're doing something most of us never learned. They're not holding on tighter, they're letting go. We've been taught that strength means pushing through, that real power comes from controlling every part of our lives. But what if that idea is completely wrong? There's a secret weapon the strongest minds carry. It's quiet. It's hidden, and most people never see it. But once you do, it changes everything. Let's go back in time. Thousands of years ago, the Stoics, great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, shared a strange idea. They said, "You don't control the world, you control your mind." They didn't preach toughness. They taught stillness. They believed in something called detachment, not running away from pain, but refusing to let it control you. They said if you can stay centered, no matter what life throws at you, then you've already won. And guess what? Modern psychology is catching up. Therapies used by doctors today say the same thing. You don't have to believe every thought. You don't have to follow every feeling. You don't need to react to everything. The strongest minds in history didn't fight the storm. They became still inside it. The real strength of mentally strong people is detachment, but not coldness, not shutting down. It's the ability to care deeply without being ruled by emotions, to feel pain without losing yourself in it, to face chaos and stay clear inside. Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being owned by your feelings. When you learn to step back from the noise in your head, from the pressure of what others think, from the fear of the unknown, something opens up space, peace, clarity, and from that space, real power is born. This isn't just philosophy, it's survival, it's transformation. It's the difference between being trapped and being free. Let's bring this into the real world. Viktor Frankl, a man locked inside a Nazi concentration camp, lost everything. But he held on to one thing, his power to choose how he responded. Even in hell, he found meaning. Even in the dark, he found light. There are Navy SEALs who stay calm in life or death moments, not by fighting fear, but by moving through it. There are trauma survivors who find peace, not by pretending everything's okay, but by letting go of what they can't control. All of them share one thing. They surrendered, not to weakness, but to truth. They stopped fighting the waves and learned how to float. These stories are not just inspiring. They're proof. Proof that when you let go, you become unbreakable. So why don't more people live this way? Why does it feel so hard to let go? The answer is simple: the ego. The ego wants control. It wants to be right. It wants to look strong, even when it's falling apart. The ego fears surrender, because surrender means it's not in charge. So when you try to detach, it whispers, if you let go, you'll lose everything. But that voice isn't protecting you, it's keeping you small. Carl Jung called the ego a mask, a false self. Eckhart Tolle said the ego survives through drama and fear. The truth is, you're not your ego. You're the one watching it, and when you finally see that the secret weapon becomes yours, here's the shift that changes everything. Most people react. They explode in anger, collapse in sadness, say things they regret, because they don't pause. The mentally strong respond. They feel the same emotions, but they don't let those emotions control their next move. There's a moment, a small space, between what happens to you and what you do next. That space is your power. That space is everything. This isn't about being cold, it's about being conscious. Mindfulness isn't a buzzword, it's a skill. Science shows it rewires your brain. You stop living in survival mode and start living with clarity. This is the strength no one can see, but everyone can feel. Now we arrive at the final door: surrender, not giving up, not walking away, but letting go. Have everything you can't control. You stop trying to force life and start learning how to flow with it. This is where real trust begins. Not trust in some belief, but trust in life itself. The Tao Te Ching says, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." The mentally strong know this truth. They don't fear surrender. They've made peace with it, because when you stop holding on, you rise. You don't need more strength. You already have it. It's not louder willpower. It's quieter wisdom. You just need to remember the secret. Let go, detach, trust, and watch what happens. When you stop gripping so tight and finally let life move through you. The strongest people aren't the ones who fight the hardest. They're the ones who know when to stop fighting. What if everything you've been told about strength is a lie? You've heard the message 1,000 times. Be strong. Push harder. Never show weakness. But what if that's not strength at all? What if real strength has nothing to do with power, control, or force, and everything to do with stillness, surrender, and letting go? Think about it. The strongest trees don't fight the wind. They bend with it. And that's why they don't break. This isn't about giving up. It's about seeing clearly. It's about choosing peace over pride, clarity over chaos. The strongest people in the world don't look strong. They look calm. They look empty. They look free. This is the beginning of a new way of thinking, a doorway to something deeper. And once you walk through it, you don't come back the same, because the truth is simple. Real strength isn't about holding on, it's about letting go. Most people think they're mentally strong because they keep going. They hustle. They grind, they push through, but look deeper, and you'll see something else. They're afraid to stop, afraid to feel, afraid to face what's really going on inside. They distract themselves with noise. They stay busy so they never have to be still, because stillness is where the truth lives, and truth is uncomfortable. Mental weakness hides behind constant activity. It pretends to be strength, but it's fear in disguise. Real strength isn't about doing more. It's about needing less. Stoics knew this. Epictetus taught that the only real power we have is over our own mind, not over other people, not over outcomes, not over the world. Carl Jung warned us too. He said, "People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. So most people run. But mentally strong people, they stop. They face the silence, and they listen." That's the difference. Here's the secret nobody talks about. Mentally strong people don't try to control everything. They let go, but not like giving up, letting go on purpose, releasing the need to grip, to fight, to force. They stop needing things to go their way. They stop needing other people to agree. They stop needing certainty, validation, or control, and in that space, something powerful happens. They become calm, they become clear, they become strong in a way the world doesn't understand. The Buddhists called this non-attachment. The Stoics called it freedom from externals. The Taoists called it wu wei, effortless action. And modern science shows that when we stop clinging, our nervous system resets, our minds clear, our bodies relax. Letting go is not weakness, it's strength in its purest form, because when you stop resisting life, you become one with it, and nothing can touch you. Most people run from pain. They avoid it, numb it, deny it. But mentally strong people walk straight into it. They don't enjoy it, but they don't fear it either, because they know what's on the other side. Growth, wisdom, freedom. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, discovered this in the darkest place imaginable. He found meaning in suffering, and that meaning saved him. Rumi said, "The wound is where the light enters you." Pain is not the enemy, it's the teacher. It breaks down what is false, so the truth can rise. Mentally strong people use pain. They let it burn away their ego, their illusions, their lies, and they come out the other side, lighter, clearer, stronger. Not because they avoided the storm, but because they walked through it with their eyes open. There's a strange kind of strength you don't see often. It's quiet, disciplined, focused. It's the strength of the warrior monk. This is someone who acts with power, but without ego. They take bold action, but they're not attached to how it turns out. They train, they build, they speak, but they don't grasp, they move and let go. This is the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. You have a right to your actions, but not to the fruits of your actions. It's not passive. It's not lazy. It's the deepest form of presence. Because when you stop tying your self-worth to the results, you become unstoppable. The samurai trained this way, so did the Stoics. So do the most powerful creators in the world. They care deeply, but they don't cling. That's the paradox, and that's the power. Most people fear uncertainty. They want answers, they want control. But mentally strong people live inside the unknown, and they're at peace there. They don't need guarantees. They don't need to know what comes next. They trust something deeper. Call it faith. Call it surrender. Call it alignment with the flow of life. They move through the dark without panic. This is radical trust, not blind optimism, not pretending everything is okay, but a quiet inner knowing, whatever happens, I can meet it.